Tough game that. Can you just give us your assessment on the performance?
Yeah, very tough. We trained really well this week, I thought, and then I don't know if that gave us a bit of false hope. But yeah, we started a little bit slow. They came out of the blocks and probably bossed us a little bit in the middle, and then we had a couple of opportunities really early where we didn't score, and then they kind of flipped it, went down the end, and we were 8-0 down. And when you're chasing it, just it's a hard game to be in.
We've got some injuries in the squad, haven't we? Could you give us an update on those, and how did everyone go today? Is everyone still fit?
Yeah, we've got a few sore bodies. We've got probably 3 or 4 that are out for the season now, like that would be probably your starting 13 players, so it's tough. But we brought in some of the academy players for the last few weeks. They've been really good. Ebony and Ruby Bruce played today. I thought they went really well, sort of just finding their feet in the Super League. And we've got Ruby Walker as well, who's pushing. She was at 18th today, and she's not far off getting her spot as well. So there's definitely players that can come in. Obviously we've got injuries, but we've got a good squad as well, so we're certainly not using that as an excuse to not win.
2 big games coming up before the playoffs. How do you pick the team up after that?
I think they've got to pick themselves up really. I don't think anything I can say or do as a coach is going to make them get back up. I think you can tell they're a bit disappointed in some of their own effort areas, so I think Tuesday they'll pick themselves up and they'll get around each other. Like we said after the game, you know, get your arm around each other, enjoy a couple of days off, and let's get in Tuesday and just go again, because losing happens, and you know sometimes it's not a bad thing at this time of year, because it just refocuses you and you go, right, we're 2 games and then we're into knockouts, so let's go again.
What would you say was the main difference between the 2 sides this afternoon?
I think we gave them some opportunities on our line through just probably uncharacteristic errors, and if you do that, you're kind of asking for trouble, I think. And then they did, you know, we made an error, they scored, and they kind of got away from us a little bit. But I think, like I said, a lot of it was uncharacteristic, so you wouldn't think that's something that week on week we do. We're just probably off the boil today. They were very good down the middle as well. We sort of said we've been good in that area the last couple of weeks. I think it's fair to say they dominated us in the middle, so that's something we need to look at.
Kind of game you'll learn plenty from rather coming into those next 2 big games.
Yeah, you learn loads, because chances are we might meet York again, you know, in the next, what will it be, 3-4 weeks time, so you learn a bit about where they're at, and you definitely learn a lot about where we're at, and we're still having games where we're putting people in for bigger minutes than they've done. Like the academy players might have had 10 minutes here and there leading up to now. They've had more minutes today. We shuffled the team round due to players being unavailable and injured, so we've got lots of moving parts at the minute, which probably don't help. But obviously at the same time, like I said to Leon, we've got a good squad, so we can't use those moving parts as an excuse.
What did you learn about yourself today, first time out there in this Team League season?
Tough question. To be honest, I enjoyed it. It's a bit different being sat up at the top. I'm normally in a yellow t-shirt running around sort of taking messages on. I suppose you've got to think a little bit more, plan a little bit more. I certainly enjoyed it, and it's easy to get stressed out in that position, especially when you're in a tough game like that. But I found it all right.
Are you able to put your own mark on the team? Are you pretty much following the instructions of where the team's been going this season?
I suppose I can put my own mark a little bit, but I think a lot of the season's done. 80% of what you do, I think you do in pre-season and early on in the year, so we've done all that. At the minute now, it's sort of just fine-tuning a little bit, so certainly not changing anything that we do in terms of how we train and how we play. But yeah, I guess week to week we've got a different voice talking to them. I'll have different opinions on certain things as well to sort of put into the mix.